You destroyed so much of our community, and yet we came together and we built a park. My name is Beatriz Zamora Aguilar. I am currently writing a children's book. It's a children's book that tells the story of Chicano Park. And the story of Chicano Park, I believe, is important for young people to understand that we live in a country where speaking your voice, the right to peaceably assemble is important. Those are important rights. And here's a community that stood up and said, that's enough. You know, you built a freeway, you built a Coronado Bridge, you destroyed so much of our community, houses were destroyed, people had to move, and yet we came together and we built a park. And this park is now an internationally acclaimed park. And it has murals that are now part of the National Historic Landmark for the United States. And so this park that came out of social justice movements, that came from poor people who just came together and said, no, our kids deserve a park. We're going to build this park if we have to do it ourselves, is now going to celebrate its 50th anniversary. And I think that's amazing. And the art that's been created is very similar to the greatness of the art and murals of Mexico City. It's world renowned. The movements that have been stimulated by this park are also amazing. You know, the Danza Azteca, Chichimeca is part of that, Ballet Folklorico, the musicians, the lowriders, the brown berets that come together because they really originally came together to fight the injustices of, you know, lack of education and all these other resources that we as a community needed. It gave a voice to a community. And so to me, it's really, really important to document that and to help children understand that the land is important, that we need to take care of the land, and that Chicano Park is important, and that their voice is important. And so I'm thrilled. It's exciting for me to see it come to life, and I hope that children will enjoy it and that it will make a difference in the long run.
In the year 1970, in the city of San Diego, under the Coronado Bridge, lied a little piece of land. A little piece of land that the Chicano community of Logan Heights wanted to make into a park. A park where all the chavalitos could come and play in, so they wouldn't have to play in the street and get run over by a car. A park where all the viejitos could come in the tarde and just sit down and watch the sun go down. A park where all the familias could come and just get together on a Sunday afternoon and celebrate the spirit of life itself. But the city of San Diego said, Chale, we're gonna make a highway patrol substation here. So on April the 22nd, 1970, La Raza of Logan Heights and other Chicano communities got together and they walked on the land and they took it over with their picks and their shovels and they began to build their own park. And today, almost 20 years later, that little piece of land under the Coronado Bridge in San Diego is known to people everywhere as Chicano Park. Órale, raza, vamos al parque. Yeah. It began in 1970 under the Coronado Bridge en mi barrio in San Diego, where my people began to fight for Chicano Park, for Chicano Park. piece of land. A little piece of land that the Chicano community of Logan Heights wanted to make into a park. A park where all the chavalitos could come and play in, so they wouldn't have to play in the street and get run over by a car. A park where all the viejitos could come in the tarde and just sit down and watch the sun go down. A park where all the familias could come and just get together on a Sunday afternoon and celebrate the spirit of life itself. But the city of San Diego said, Charlie, we're gonna make a...
Anastasio Hernandez Rojas crossed the border at age 15 and worked as an undocumented worker in construction. He lived and worked in the San Diego area for 27 years, married and had 5 children. In May of 2010, he lost his drywall job and attempted to steal a steak and tequila from a local grocery store. He was caught and turned over to the Border Patrol, and they deported him. After a few days, he tried to return to his family, but was caught trying to cross in a rural area, Por el Cerro. The Border Patrol processed him and drove him to the border to again deport him back to Mexico. But when the agent got him out of the patrol car, he tried to escape, even though he was still handcuffed. There was a brief scuffle, and then agents tased him several times and began beating him with batons. More agents arrived and joined in the beating, about 15 total. He stopped resisting and yelled for help, but they kept on beating him as he was face down, handcuffed, until he passed out. An ambulance took him to the hospital where he died 2 days later. Even though the agents tried to destroy all photos and video taken by witnesses, 2 videotapes of the incident were released on social media. After waiting 5 long years for the results of the investigation, the report revealed that all of the agents in the beating were cleared of their actions. This angered the family and the community so much that they began to protest. His murder galvanized the community, so the mural is dedicated to Anastasio, but it represents all the migrants killed by the Border Patrol. From 2010 to 2016 alone, there were 50 more deaths at the border. A documentary about his death was produced by PBS, entitled Crossing the Line at the Border. Since no agents were found guilty, the family filed a civil suit against the government for torture, excessive use of force, etc. The family won the case, and the government had to pay them a settlement fee. But his 5 children are still without their father.
We're now on the second level of the Anastasio Hernandez Rojas mural here at Chicano Park. We have a great team of artists working with us. So what I'm working on right now is the representation of Jacqueline Joaquin Powell, who was one of the first children that got press coverage, one of the first children that died while in custody of the immigration border guards. She died of a septic infection and dehydration from lack of hydration. Didn't attend to her father's complaints about her illness, and she was essentially let to die, as has happened to too many children.
Say hello.
Hello!
Tell them your name.
This is Graham here. He's been working on the mural now for a year, from the very beginning. Yeah, designing, working on it every single week. So there you go. There's the famous Graham Quinosi. Thank you, Graham. Tour now of the Anastasio mural, and Victor Ochoa is here, and Edmus Dusol. We're painting the children. We're continuing painting the children of Maria and Anastasio. And we're discussing making the wings a little bit bigger, right? Profit? Yeah.
Yeah, because we did a lot of changes with it. We put the emphasis back on Anastasio as far as this altar direction, and so the angel turned to the Anastasio side. And I think it'll be a little different. And right now we're looking at the space and this heavenly part. For the heavenly part, I'm going to do more laser-like afterglow.
It'll be the rays of the eclipse are going to be coming down.
other día, like you said,